Good evening, viewers. This is DBN Freedom TV, and you're watching us live from the studio. And this is Julian Muthoni for the DBN live interviews. Tonight, dear viewers, we are privileged to have a man of God, a guest of honor, who is none other but Archbishop Gilbert Deya. You're most welcome, Bishop.
Thank you, Julian Muthoni, for welcoming me to this program.
Oh, yes.
Of live interview.
Yes. Maybe before we continue, I would like to say this about the Bishop. I have known this man for quite a number of years, and it has been amazing.
25 years. For more than 25 years.
For more than 25 years now?
Yeah, more than 25 years.
Yes. And I've known you as a preacher of the gospel, fiery, God using you in the area of miracles, signs and wonders, healings.
Muthoni, I think you know me on the crusades. The first time you came,
Yes.
I had a international crusade in a big auditorium here in Kenya.
Yes.
That the Kenyatta conference. Do you remember that year? Was it?
Yes, yes.
Which year was it?
That was KICC.
KICC, I think it's early 90s.
It was early 90s, 1994.
1994, I had a big crusade. KICC is a very large auditorium.
Yes.
Biggest than any other auditorium in the country of Kenya. And I think I was the first person to have a conference there for 7 days.
Yes.
That's where you came to get an encounter.
Oh, yes.
Where you saw a vision about me.
Yes, yes. Yes, and since then to this day, Bishop, you're strong and moving on and going on with the gospel.
Well, the vision which I received, it started what they call that it is a humble background.
Okay.
I don't understand that language of English, which is called Kisungu. A humble background means in a poor standard of life, according to the grammar of a white man. And a humble background, which meaning I got a calling deep in poverty.
Okay.
My mom and my father, they have never wear shoes since Adam. The first time I came to have shoes in my leg, on my feet, was when I was 15.
Okay.
And that was the time that I was still in this vision which I have until today. So it has been going from strength, from poverty, to have food enough, from nothing to something, and from the village in Bondo Division, in a poor area, to Nairobi, from Nairobi to UK, from UK to the globe.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. And now, Bishop, you're still going on.
I believe we are doing more than good. If I say we are doing good, we are lying.
Okay.
We are doing more than good. Honey?
Yes.
Being I am here in Kenya at the moment,
Yes.
with God's divine purpose, which I wasn't aware.
Yes.
And the vision is so bright, and Christ in me is still working more than even when I was in England, because that's what I know, that when somebody has a calling, you cannot be stopped by anything else, such as so-called obstacles which come to people's lives. And I have had obstacles which does not bother me at all, because I know my coming to this earth, or my Christianity in me, is God's plan before I was born or conceived in my mother's womb.
Wow. Since you came to Kenya, because you have been in UK for quite a number of years.
Yes, 25 years I've been in the UK.
For 25 years.
And I've never been to Kenya for 15 years.
Wow. Okay. And so how is the mission, how is the ministry going on in UK now that you're in Kenya?
UK is exploding.
Wow.
The word exploding means it is an explode.
Yes.
My son Amos is doing well with the pastors which I've been trained when I was there. And we have more than 20 pastors fully trained. Most of them are female. I can't forget to talk about Pastor Lucy Jallo, who was ordained by Pastor Monga, to be in charge of the London ministry, and Manchester and Liverpool, and let me say UK. And they are doing pretty good. They cast demons out of people every single blessed day, 7 days a week, morning and evening, and that is what we are yet to start here.
In Kenya?
In Kenya, but particularly in this Mombasa road, where we just started the ministry.
Where we started the ministry. Okay. And so far, since we started the ministry here in Kenya, how do you perceive the atmosphere? How is it going?
According to you and others, what did the bishop, the pastor say?
Well, according to us, it is going on so well. I have personally witnessed people coming to see you, coming to ask for prayers, and more than prayers, I've seen people, and this is very amazing.
And what the bishops in Kenya say, because you did them.
The bishops in Kenya are amazed that you've come.
Because they have talked to you.
Some of them are afraid that you are here. And that's not very good. But anyway, the thing is...
I'm so pleased to hear about Bishop Kitonga, Arthur Kitonga.
Yes.
He is the founder of Redeemed Gospel Church, and he is renowned, is very well known as the father of the Pentecostal group. And Bishop Kitonga has visited me in the United Kingdom twice. The last one, he was able to give our people Holy Communion, and he talked highly about me, even when I came back when he was there. And I'm honored to hear that positive remark with the people like Bishop Kitonga. And again, I have been privileged to visit Pastor Nganga Neno, who is my son's spiritual son. And Pastor Nganga has been so much positive to me, and I'm so proud of him. And I don't think I have enemies here.
No, you don't have.
Those people who can decide to be afraid of me, I think those are just small Pentecostal ministers.
That is true.
But this major Pentecostal ministers who knows that calling of me has done good in England, I think they are highly supporting me and they are with me. I'm so privileged with that. I haven't spoke to Pastor Pius Miro, who was one of the supporters in the ministry when we started. She was my interpreter when I was having the crusade at KSCC. I remember, you remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Pastor Pius Miro has contested to be the president of Kenya by some time ago. And he has his wife, we were so much in KSCC. And I know Lucy is his wife. Lucy was one of the intercessors of my ministry while we were in that time before I went to England. So you name Pius Miro, Lucy's wife, and Nganga, who is a father to Musili, Bishop Musili, and many more, Mukudi, and many more. I think I'm privileged to know them. And I also want to say thank you, Pastor Mark Karaoke, Bishop Mark Karaoke of Redeemed Gospel, not of Deliverance Church Service, who succeeded Bishop Clemishin. I was so honored for Mark Karaoke to visit me in prison, and wherever you are, Mark Karaoke, I respect you and I honor you, and I'm so grateful. He also came to England, and we were able to receive them very well. Most of the bishops in Kenya has visited me in England, Bishop Elijah Juma in Mombasa, and Bishop Silas Owetes in Kisumu, Obonyongede in Kisumu, Bishop Arthur Kitonga, Mark Karaoke, and many more, Philip Karanja. So while I was in the UK, I was privileged to host most of these superior, successful ministers of the gospel here, especially the period where I was in that heavy negative publicity. Bishop Kitonga came to England, and I was so honored to have him and to host him, and also to share with our people that day as a honor Holy Communion. And I thank God for that, because the gospel we are preaching is not one man business, it's God's business. And we cannot take it by selfishness. And I know my coming back to Kenya, I have been brought back by God himself. I don't want people to pray for me that the devil brought me to Kenya. It was a little bit so painful that one single morning I was picked up and I never saw again my bedroom, my beautiful car, my beautiful car with my number plate, in the name and everything. And I never saw those people which I used to see every single blessed day. But sometimes, in order for you to be lifted or to be commissioned, we have to go through a known. Muthoni, I want to remind you, Moses, who was born a deliverer of Egyptian from the land of Egypt, or of Israelite from the land of Egypt. In his birth, his life was haunted to be killed. And many children lose their life because King Pharaoh killed them when they were looking for his life. And he never knew he is not an Egyptian. He stayed in the palace, was brought up as a prince, and he was supposed to be the next king. And God did not want him to go that way. He has to kill an Egyptian in order for him to be sentenced, sending out of the country. He was supposed to be having a death sentence, but God turned it for them to chase him away from the country. 40 years, this man suffered a lot. He went to poverty, he lost the royal type of life, he lost everything, and can you imagine, he has no even water to drink. And that is the one God created from his mother's womb to be the deliverer. The word deliverer is only two people saying it. You know who are they? Jesus and Moses. Moses delivered the Israelites from the land of Egypt, but Jesus came as God in the flesh to deliver us from the hand of the devil. In that particular time, Moses went through hardship. And that is when God has taken him out of the royalty which he was brought up in. And for 40 years, that's where he got his life there. And God met him in the wilderness, at work. And when God met him, definitely that's when the Spirit of God brought him back, and he did wonders and miracles in Egypt. So my coming back to Kenya, in a way that I was handicapped and stayed 1 year in prison, it was not the devil's plan. It was not miracle baby. It was God's arrangement, because as a human being, I was comfortable, contented to be in England. So that's why I have to see what God programmed with me. Because I discovered that I am not programming myself. God programmed things to me. And as human beings, sometimes we can do things in our own way, and we can divert the calling. That is why my coming back to Kenya is a blessing. Not only to me, but to the British people and to the Kenyan people, because the church in England is doing well without me. So why should I bother to go back to England? I can't wait to touch Africa. I can't wait to go to Nigeria. We have already built a church in Cameroon, bigger than this one.
Oh,
And
wow.
it is in a big land,
Oh, wow.
and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not yet completed because when I do flooring,
Yes.
I will send it, people will say, they speak French, but that one we have a very wonderful auditorium. I think that's the biggest auditorium we have in all Africa.
Okay.
And at the moment, it is the headquarters of the Gilbert Deya ministry in Africa.
In Africa.
Here, we are going to be here as just a training center.
Oh,
This is going to be a training center of the ministers.
okay.
I'm believing God to train the ministers, make out of that thing, and bring out the ministers. So we are starting a school of healing, deliverance, casting demons out here.
Okay.
And everyone who will get encounter with me
Yes.
shall be healed, and shall be also be healing the people
Yes.
and casting demons out of people.
Okay.
In London, every member has to be casting demons out of people and healing the sick. Because this is the mission that Jesus sent to us. Casting demons out and healing the sick from people does not make somebody to be a special pastor. No. It does not make them be special ministers. They are normal. This is the minister. Jesus commissioned his people. So I believe that everyone, not the pastor, everyone, no matter somebody is a believer and filled with the Holy Spirit, that person has got full heavenly power to cast demons out of others and heal the sick. It is a stupidity and hopelessness for the believers to trust only the pastors to do the work of casting out demons and healing the sick. And I think it's a stupidity, wrong foundation, which was laid to the current Christianity. That's why in England, I managed to make sure everyone, there's a lady known as Yvonne, Jamaica. She has been in the ministry for, I think, about 10 years now, and she is a cleaner. And she is the best delivery minister than all, even the bishop and pastors. And she clean, yeah, she's a cleaner. In there, cleaner, any member, we make you a minister. And this is what I'm looking for to do here. And we shall also train apostles and pastors and ministers. Because I'm qualified now to do so.
Oh, that's amazing. So your vision number one, here in Africa, and especially in this auditorium in Kenya, you're going to make it like a school of ministry, as you have said.
It will be a school of deliverance, casting demons out and healing the sick.
Okay.
And this has to happen to everyone who walks in here.
Okay.
Among them, we shall also train. I will enhance. Enhance means developing pastors who are laid in a foundation that the churches cannot move, because there are some other negligent or lack of understanding, maybe lack of knowledge, that make them to run churches in a way that they cannot grow. But I will invite those pastors to come here. We'll work with them. Like now we have Bishop Nge, Bishop Alingo, and we have some other people. We are together, and I'm teaching how they can also pull the crowd. Because when you know me 25 years ago, what did you see about the crowd?
Oh, big. This huge crowd, yes.
I used to have meeting from
8 a.m.
8 a.m. in the morning
Yes. To 8 p.m. in the evening.
to 8 p.m. in the evening.
Yes.
We haven't started yet here, but I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to have the same thing. And I'm going to have night services where I'm going to make the soldiers of God to rise up.
Wow.
Because in England, I was having the service 3 a.m. for training the pastors.
Okay.
And I believe I'm going to do more here than what I've done in England.
Wow. Wow. Are you also planning to do crusades?
I am a crusader. The word crusade, I just want to explain to all the Christians community, is a very serious word. I think it's a word that was created by Roman Empire, and I hate that word now. The word crusades means that they were going and killing anybody who was not worshiping in Catholic faith. I think we need to wind up, the time is going on.
Okay. Well, it's been wonderful to have you in the studio today. I'm sure we are going to have some more time together, and so we can learn more from you. This is more than just an interview. I've just realized that.
When we come back, I will explain the meaning of the crusade.
Yes.
Remind me.
Yes, I will.
Because going to England and learning in England what the crusade means and what the Roman Empire were using crusaders to kill anyone who does not worship Roman Catholic, that's where the word crusade comes.
Oh.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to stop there.
Yes.
I think you meet me the next time.
I will, definitely. Thank you, viewers. We'll meet you next time, and keep it right here at DBN Freedom TV. Thank you.